Well, you've seen what's inside the box. Now we're inside the garage. We're going to be installing obviously our one-piece lightweight flywheel as well as our stage 2 clutch, including our pressure plate and clutch disc. We're going to be showing you some critical points you might want to pay attention to make sure that this goes properly and smoothly. Once you've removed all the components above and below the vehicle, now it's time to remove the transmission. Use a proper transmission stand to remove it safely and properly. Please use caution as this component is very heavy, as the dual mass flywheel and clutch is extremely heavy. Be sure to remove the magneto or crank sensor to make sure it doesn't get damaged. As always, be sure to clean the bell housing as to remove any contaminants. When replacing a clutch on a dual mass flywheel vehicle, be sure to replace it with either an OEM replacement brand new or a single mass flywheel option. Reason being is the wear and tear and the looseness of the dual mass flywheel could cause clutch failure. Be sure to clean the flywheel bolts. After that, apply red Loctite to ensure that they don't loosen. Be sure to use caution removing the pilot bushing, ensuring not to cause damage to the crankshaft. Gently hand press the pilot bushing into place, then using an appropriate size socket, tap it gently into place. When installing the flywheel, make sure that the dowel pins align properly, that the magneto or crank sensor is in the correct position. Be sure to tighten the flywheel bolts in a star pattern a little bit at a time, utilizing OEM torque specs to ensure proper installation. After tightening down the flywheel and before putting on the pressure plate and clutch disc, clean the surface of the flywheel, removing any debris and contaminants. Now it's time to remove the release bearing from the bearing carrier, utilizing a shop press or an arbor press and an appropriate size socket. Now install bearing carrier into new release bearing using a shop press or an arbor press. Once installed, make sure that release bearing spins freely and properly. Be sure to clean the bell housing for any contaminants or debris, especially on the input shaft. Wipe down the input shaft, inspecting any damage to the splines. Test fit the clutch disc on the input shaft to make sure that it moves freely. Apply the provided EXEDY lubricant on the nose cone of the transmission bell housing. Now apply provided lubricant on the input shaft. Please remove excess lubricant as it could compromise clutch performance. Also apply a little lubricant to the clutch fork pivot ball. Using more lubricant, apply it to the end of the clutch fork. Make sure it moves freely and properly. Remember, a little lubricant goes a long way. Wipe down the surface of the pressure plate to remove any contaminants. Utilizing the provided clutch alignment tool, install the clutch disc to the lightweight flywheel. Go ahead and clean the pressure plate bolts. After doing so, apply a little bit of red Loctite on there to ensure proper installation. Install and fasten pressure plate to lightweight flywheel utilizing OEM torque specs and fasten down in a star pattern. Once clutch is installed, remove the alignment tool. Once the clutch is installed, then you're going to obviously reinstall your transmission, all the necessary parts. Then it's time to hit the road and test that your clutch works properly. Well, thanks for watching this video. As you can see, the installation of the G35. Now remember, you're going from a dual mass flywheel to a single mass flywheel. It is EXEDY racing clutch, so it is performance. Now remember, 500 miles for braking. You hear a little bit of noise, but that is normal for this clutch. So then it is ready to take to the track and back, and it's ready to attack. For more information or to speak to an EXEDY racing consultant, you can go to exedyusa.com for more information. This is Jared Deanna, and I'll see you out there.